Company will pause operations in Bakersfield. Bird scooters arrived here in December of 2018. People rent them and then leave them behind at different spots throughout the city. It's unclear why Bird's pausing operations in Bakersfield, but an email sent to contractors who collect and charge the scooters said the company will reach out when they resume operations. 17 News reached out to Bird for comment, but we have not heard back.
A local McDonald's manager is one of the best in the world, and the company says it's loving it and giving her a prestigious award. Myra Villalpando is the manager of the McDonald's in Lamont. She won the Ray Kroc Award for being one of the company's top managers. Villalpando will receive a cash prize and a trophy for the achievement at a ceremony in Florida next year.
5:03 now, a sweeping crackdown at a college campus in San Diego after a fraternity event led to the death of a student. More than a dozen other fraternities have been suspended. San Diego State University student Dylan Hernandez died after attending a Phi Gamma Delta frat party. It happened Wednesday night.
It's horrifying, and I feel terrible for the parents.
The university reacted swiftly, suspending 14 fraternities after a campus police investigation uncovered possible misconduct at the fraternity. This is not the first time Phi Gamma Delta has found itself punished by the university. 2 years ago, the fraternity was put under probation after violating alcohol-related policies.
The widow of a passenger that died in the dive boat fire is now suing the owner of the Conception. The boat caught fire off the coast of Santa Barbara 2 months ago. The fire killed 34 people. It was ruled the boat did not have adequate fire alarms and emergency exits, and now the widow of one of the passengers on board is suing the owner of the boat, saying it was unsafe. She is the first person related to a victim to sue the owner. However, one employee injured during the fire has also sued.
5:04 now. While PG&E is expected to credit customers affected by one of last month's blackouts, the state may also be getting reimbursed for all of the time and resources it spent on the ordeal. Both PG&E customers as well as the state might get some money back. The state had to pull together a lot of resources during the shutoff, like emergency service centers. The Federal Emergency Management Agency typically reimburses the state for emergency operations costs when a disaster hits, but the shutoffs weren't considered an emergency, so people were left wondering who will cover the costs. PG&E has already reimbursed some customers. PG&E recently reported it took a substantial hit in the last financial quarter. Utilities bracing itself for possibly incurring up to $6.3 billion in costs this year related to the recent events. With $90 million of that, it's expected to go to customers affected by the October 9th blackout.
Your time now is almost 5:06, and she's known as Little Miss Kern County, and she's helping serve others here in the community.
17th Tabitha Mills joins us a little later to tell us more.
And it's Tuesday and another warm day out there, but some clouds will be on the approach for us. We'll talk more about that coming up right after the break.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
Surround yourself with protection. The 2020 Nissan Altima with available Safety Shield 360 technologies. 6 systems that help look out for you. This is all-around protection. This is Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Get a low $199 per month lease or get 0% financing for 36 months on the 2020 Nissan Altima.
Who can you turn to when your pet needs medical attention? We are Bakersfield Veterinary Hospital. Bakersfield Veterinary Hospital is a full-service facility designed to meet the unique needs of our community. We feature 24-hour emergency services, 7 days a week. Call us for an appointment today at 661-327-4444 and learn about how to keep all of your pets healthy, great or small. Bakersfield Veterinary Hospital.
Experience the difference at Sing Ha Thai, Bakersfield's first Thai restaurant. Come in for dinner and enjoy flavorful, authentic Thai cuisine prepared with all the right ingredients. We offer a variety of noodle, seafood, and savory curry dishes, all from deliciously mild to spicy hot. Dine in, take out, or get it delivered. Sing Ha Thai Restaurant, sharing our family recipes for over 15 years. Open 6 days a week at 5432 California Avenue.
At Bakersfield Behavioral Healthcare Hospital, we believe in treating everyone in our community with compassion and acceptance. We believe you have a say in your own treatment, and we respect your voice. We believe you shouldn't have to travel far from home to receive excellent care. We believe sincerity and courtesy should guide our every move. We believe in you because Bakersfield Behavioral Healthcare Hospital cares.
This portion of 17 News is brought to you by Steel. Get legendary quality now at your local Steel dealer.
Real Steel. Find yours. And find what fuels you. Get the MS250 high-performance chainsaw for just $299.95, or a steel blower starting at only $139.95. Find yours at SteelDealers.com.
Welcome back. It's 5:09 on this Tuesday, and we're kind of awaiting a little bit of a shift in the weather. Is that here yet, or
just a little bit? Just some clouds will be approached tonight into Thursday and Friday, but that's about all we're going to get of it. And a little bit of variation in the temperatures, but today we'll be right near 80 once again, kind of like what we saw yesterday with those upper 70s. So if you've been enjoying this weather, well, guess what? It's going to continue here. Outside, we've got 53 degrees. A light jacket probably needed. No winds to talk about. We're only looking at a light breeze as we go throughout the day. Overnight so far, 51. Should be right around 46 this time of year. Normal high 67, and the record of 88 set back in 1907. 452 will be your sunset tonight. Take a look at other temperatures. Again, 40s and 50s in the valley, and then for the mountains, Fraser Park at 39, 45 out of Tehachapi, 50 for Lake Isabella, and we've got some 40s out in the desert. Skies remain clear for the interior part of the state right now, but you can see a little shift and change. See some clouds off here to the west. That's what we will be tracking as we head into late this afternoon and tonight. Currently, temperature sitting right near 52 in Fresno, lower 60s to the south, 53 out of Vegas, and mid 60s out of Phoenix. And San Francisco has a little bit of fog this morning. They're at 52, a west wind at 7. So high pressure is going to shift over Central California for today, and then we've got this trough out to the west, and this is the cloud cover that we're going to be tracking here. It has very little moisture with it, though, so we're not expecting rain, but we will see some clouds. It looks like by late tonight, and then into our Wednesday, Thursday, possibly into the Friday. We've kind of backed up on the cloud cover a little bit by Friday, and then by the weekend, we start to see a little warm up. 75 in Sacramento today, 82 in Fresno, 70 south, 69 out of Vegas, and Phoenix today right near 81. Now, air quality isn't improving just yet. It will be unhealthy for sensitive groups. Your AQI at 105, and today, no burning. You can always get more information on that at valleyair.org. Today, 81 in Bakersfield, 79 in Delano, 80 in Buttonwillow and Taft. A light wind throughout the day. And then for the mountains in the Kern River Valley, a light wind here, 72 in Fraser Park, Tehachapi at 73, Bear Valley at 71. And then for the Kern River Valley, we're looking at upper 70s to lower 80s. Weldon, though, 76 today, and then 30s, 40s, and 50s overnight. For the desert, look for a south wind, 5 to 10, 77 in Mojave with 79 in Ridgecrest. 40s return this evening. Here's your extended forecast, and Wednesday, Thursday, we look for mostly cloudy skies. Friday, we start to see some clearing, and you can see those temperatures come down on the back side of the front. By Friday and Saturday, we'll be looking at lower 70s and then back up into the upper 70s by Sunday and Monday. As we take a look at the mountain forecast, some clouds Wednesday, Thursday as well. Some high clouds for you Friday and Saturday. You can see those temperatures fall back into the 60s. Your coolest day on Friday with a high of 63. And then for the Kern River Valley, also some clouds for you tomorrow and Thursday. And your coolest day on Friday with 73, and then back up right near 80 Sunday and Monday. So a little bit of a warm up by the end of next weekend, but in the short term, we get to see a little bit of cloud cover tomorrow and Thursday.
So just we'll be back right where we are now.
Pretty
basically.
much. Yeah, it's a small little window of change.
And we're only about 2 weeks out from
It's hard to
Thanksgiving.
believe.
I know, and I
crazy.
see no rain in our forecast.
You know, and it's
blocking
so,
ridges.
And it's so hard to believe because, you know, we've got a lot of, even some businesses and homes around town that have decorated for Christmas already.
Yeah.
There's at least, I want to say, 2 or 3 homes in my neighborhood where I can see the Christmas tree from their front window.
So, well, there are 6 fewer days between Thanksgiving
And I think
and
that's the
Christmas
excuse.
this year, so about a week. So we're really only about a week early right
Here's
now,
the thing.
at this point.
I'm not complaining. I admit, I have not skipped Christmas music when it comes on in my shuffle.
Well, there's no Thanksgiving music, so I mean, I think
That's true.
that's
That is
totally
true.
acceptable.
That is
Somebody needs
acceptable.
to bring on Thanksgiving music.
You know, I think, I
what
can't
it'd
remember
be.
the exact radio station, but there is a local radio station that's already playing
Christmas
music.
Oh my
I can't remember
gosh.
the exact station, but
I'm here for it. It's
Well, if
all,
you're wanting
it's
to
all
get
over
the
my Pandora.
if you're wanting to get the Christmas lights out and put them up on outside this weekend, it'll be perfect.
It'll
Won't
be
too
nice
hot.
weather for
It'll
it,
be
yeah.
nice
yeah,
weather
that's
Friday.
good. That's nice.
So,
I mean, you know all about Christmas because your
I've already started.
house is already decorated.
Almost.
All
It's
right.
getting there.
Let's take a look at your morning commute and take you outside and show you how things are shaping up on the. Let's see here. The 99 near 7th Standard. And here's a look at the 99 at Airport Drive. And it's all looking pretty good across the county. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
It's 5:13. Taking a peek at your personal health information.
Yeah, why Google says they know your health record and why they've partnered with a hospital.
A car crash can be devastating, but the wrong decisions after a crash can make it worse. If you've been hurt, make the right decision. Put Jacoby and Myers on your side.
Your vehicle is part of your family, and your family deserves the best. From scratch repairs and detailing to full body restoration and paint, come see why more Bakersfield auto dealers trust Color Coat Restoration Inc. Is your insurance deductible causing a financial burden? Well, then ask about our no deductible payment for 90 days. That's right, no deductible payment for 90 days. Color Coat Restoration Inc., Bakersfield's premier auto body and paint destination.
In an instant, your life may never be the same. A car crash can cause damages that will last the rest of your life. Protect your future. Call Jacoby and Myers.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. You're watching 17 News at Sunrise.
When I hated my smile, I missed out on everything. I hid, I stayed inside, I didn't look people in the eye, I didn't smile. Going to see Dr. Dana was one of the best experiences of my life. What surprised me the most was just how beautiful I would look. Having my portraits done is an experience, a lifetime. My children always loved me, but they get to see an even better me than before.
I can't get you off my mind. I think about you all the time. I can't forget the things you said and all the lovely times we had. You said that you love me, darling. I said that I love you too. Let's get
Welcome back here at 5:16. She wants to help others have a servant's heart.
Yeah, and Tabitha Mills joins us this morning and introducing us to Little Miss Kern County, and she shares her new mission. Good morning, Tabs.
Good morning. Well, it's her mission to help people at the mission, and at 8 years old, Nyla Perkins, or Little Miss Kern County 2020, says she is helping others through Christ. Nyla is holding a donation drive for the homeless. It's part of her platform as Little Miss Kern County 2020, but it's also a part of her heart. She's a pint-sized philanthropist asking for the community's help.
I'm trying to donate socks and underpants to the homeless.
Why is that important?
Because God wants us to help people.
So there you have it. Nyla hopes to collect socks and underwear for children and adults. Donations will be distributed Thanksgiving Day at the mission at Kern County. If you'd like to donate, there are several drop-off locations, including the mission at Kern County, Wingstop on Coffee Road, and Alta One Federal Credit Union on River Run Boulevard, as well as Ming Avenue. So you can reach out for more information on Instagram as well. Just search at Little Miss Kern County 2020. There you have it.
That's the goal right there, to have a kid
very
who
sweet,
has
yeah.
a heart like that
Exactly.
and wants to give back. It's
Exactly.
so cool.
Our pint-sized philanthropist.
What a sweetheart.
She's super sweet.
All right,
Thanks so much, Tab.
Well, we're asking for your help to ensure local families in need have a warm holiday meal this Thanksgiving and Christmas. Tomorrow, we're hosting our annual holiday food drive. Every year, KGET teams up with the Community Action Partnership of Kern, which distributes more than 12 million pounds of food through 113 partner sites. The food bank relies on your donations to stock the shelves ahead of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So we hope you'll stop by tomorrow sometime between 5 a.m. and 7 p.m. outside our studios at 22nd and M Streets. We're looking for everything needed to cook up a holiday feast, and of course, monetary donations are welcome.
5:18 now. Starting today, the work begins to bring new homes to help homeless and poor veterans in Oildale. The California Veterans Assistance Foundation will break ground for Covey Cottages, a 12-unit village of so-called tiny homes to give permanent housing to veterans who are homeless or at risk of falling into homelessness. We'll bring you more coverage of the groundbreaking later today.
On Friday, you can join us for the 10th annual Heroes and Helmets to support local Make-A-Wish kids. Heroes and Helmets brings firefighters with kids and their families together with our community for a day of giving. Make-A-Wish grants wishes to children who battle critical illnesses. And again, this event is outside our KGT studios in downtown Bakersfield at 22nd and M Street. The donation drive is from 7 a.m. until 1:30 p.m. You can also join us for lunch between 11 a.m. and 1:30 p.m. $10 gets you a deep pit sandwich, chips, a cookie, and a water. City and county firefighters will also accept cash donations outside our station and at the intersections of Olive and Knutson and Mohawk and Rosedale from 7 a.m. until 1:30 p.m.
It's going to be a busy week.
It's going to be a pretty busy week, yeah, the next couple days.
Hope you come down and see us. Well, still ahead, can a credit card be sexist?
Why some people are saying it can after the break.
Tonight, This Is Us reminds us why it's TV's #1 drama.
You slept with her, didn't you? What's wrong with you?
I signed the divorce papers yesterday.
An all-new This Is Us, tonight on NBC. Tonight,
Please save my baby.
Max is forced to relive
Maybe let us handle this one.
the worst day of his life.
This is bad.
It's so quiet.
New Amsterdam, tonight on NBC.
One good choice today can change your tomorrow. Kern Family Healthcare.
I'm Dr. Richard Castine, and I'm an implantologist. What makes this facility unique is the fact that it's comprehensively put together for the patient's needs. We have a very experienced staff. We have the capability of designing things from scratch using CAD/CAM technology. With the number of cases that we do, I can't imagine doing it any other way.
Learn more about the benefits of implant dentistry with a presentation by Dr. Castine on November 13th at 7 p.m.
Breaking news from Econoware for homeowners with wood-burning fireplaces or stoves that get limited use because of no burn days. The Valley Air Pollution Control Board announced that they're doubling their incentive to $3,000. That's right, $3,000 cash back for everyone in the Bakersfield area who switches from wood burning to a natural gas insert or stove. Visit Econoware's showroom today for low sale prices on all gas inserts. Now everyone can afford to have a beautiful warm fire anytime they like for all the winters to come. Econoware, 314 Union.
This portion of 17 News is brought to you by the law offices of Mickey Fine.
College, high school, all the sports dynasties score big right here on 17 News.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. It is 5:21, and the Wall Street Journal reports that Google is partnering with a major hospital chain to collect and analyze personal health data for millions of Americans. Ascension is the second largest healthcare system in the U.S. It is a Catholic chain of 2,600 hospitals. The initiative with Ascension is codenamed Project Nightingale. It started last year and involves Google pooling medical records from Ascension facilities across 21 states. Those records include names, dates of birth, lab results, diagnoses, and hospitalization records. According to the Journal, it amounts to a complete health history, and patients have not yet been informed. The idea behind the program is to use the data in part to design new software that suggests changes to individual patient care. The company said in a news release, Project Nightingale complies with federal health laws and comes with substantial patient data protection. According to USA Today, an Amazon spokesperson says the company will open a new grocery store next year in Los Angeles. The e-commerce giant did not reveal many details, but says the store will not be a Whole Foods, which Amazon bought in 2017. Amazon did not reveal the name or whether the new store will be part of the chain. The company is also not giving details on pricing or the products the California store will carry. The news comes about 8 months after the Wall Street Journal reports Amazon was negotiating to open supermarkets in multiple cities. Is the Apple credit card sexist? The New York Department of Financial Services is launching an investigation into Goldman Sachs' Apple-branded credit card. A tech entrepreneur has accused the bank of the bank's application algorithm of discriminating against women. He says he was approved for a credit limit 20 times higher than his wife, even though the couple files joint tax returns and his wife has a higher credit score. Goldman Sachs did not respond to a request for comment.
In California's wine country, one Mexican-American family is breaking barriers with their award-winning wines. The Cejas went from picking grapes to owning their very own winery in Napa. Nadia Romero has a closer look at what's brought them this sweet success and what they're doing to protect the rights of migrant workers.
A delicious mole and Ceja Vineyards Pinot Noir.
Cheers to that.
Salud.
Wine, food, and familia. For the Cejas, running a successful wine business in California's wine country has been a labor of love.
This is very good.
Pedro and Amelia Cejas were just 12 years old when they met in the vineyards. The Mexican migrant workers had just moved to the U.S. and were helping their parents pick grapes on the weekend.
I told my dad I was going to have my own vineyard someday. It was also Pedro's dream. So it was a collective effort of many talented immigrants that have made Ceja Vineyards a reality.
The Cejas are now one of very few Mexican Americans who have gone from grape pickers to owning their very own vineyard.
It can be done independent of our humble beginnings if we work hard and we're willing to pay the price.
Amelia says in an industry dominated by white Europeans, she faced pushback for pairing high-quality wines with classic Mexican dishes like spicy mole.
People thought I was crazy when I started pairing beans and Cabernet.
But that's exactly what she envisioned doing as a young migrant worker, one day weaving her Mexican heritage into delicious wines.
Love that sound. Woo!
And it's something she's passed down to her sons and her daughter, Dalia.
Well, there's a saying in our familia, we don't have blood in our veins, we have wine. And it's that expression of passion, dedication, and focus to building a family legacy.
The family says they take workers' rights very seriously. Amelia says she has rallied in Washington to support legislation that would extend protections for migrant workers.
I care very deeply about protecting them to make sure that they're not exposed to harmful pesticides, herbicides, and to make sure that their contributions are acknowledged.
Currently, the Cejas say they produce 7,500 cases of wine a year, but they hope to raise that number to 18,000 cases within the next decade as they build a new mission-inspired production facility and grow the Ceja legacy.
Family first.
Salud. Familia!
Yes. Salud.
Salud!
I'm Nadia Romero reporting.
5:26 now. Coming up in our next half hour on Sunrise, public hearings on impeachment start tomorrow.
And Tracy Potts has the latest when we come back.
Welcome to Far Medical Group, a family medicine group where we are focused on creating long-term relationships with patients and their families while also providing quality, compassionate care. We take pride in listening to your questions and encourage our patients to have an open dialogue about their health. We provide routine wellness exams, disease prevention, and treatment.
It's our goal to listen to you, earn your trust, and exceed your expectations.
The best medical group by far, and far from ordinary.
Professional grade at Motor City goes beyond a deal. Our cars, trucks, and SUVs make Motor City a virtual tech center for safety and communication that helps save lives. Technology that alerts you to possible accidents with lane changes. Even available head-on crash alarms. Add backup cameras, hands-free Bluetooth, OnStar. This is technology that helps protect you and your family. So welcome to the city, Motor City.
At Rodriguez and Associates, we know your community because it's our community too.
We grew up here. I went to Centennial High School.
We competed here. I swam for Garces High School.
We grew up here. I graduated from Ridgeview High School. Now, we work and live here. We understand the needs of our community.
Because this is our home too.
We're Rodriguez and Associates. When you need us, we'll be here for you.
Meathead Movers, your local student-athlete movers, are here in Bakersfield. Our military-inspired professional training program ensures that our strong, clean-cut student-athletes jog when not carrying items. We hire champions who are compensated more when our customers' items are not damaged, giving you a worry-free moving experience. We 100% guarantee your satisfaction. So call our award-winning customer service today to schedule your free estimate.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. It is just before 5:30. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday. A lot of people heading back to work and school after a long weekend for Veterans Day.
Yeah, and of course it feels like it's, beginning of fall or maybe end of summer because this is very warm.
September weather in November.
Yeah, or even a little bit of spring-like weather with temperatures in the 70s to lower 80s, and that's where we're going to stand today as well. Right now we sit at 53 degrees with no winds, only a light breeze expected for us today. And as we take a look at these temperatures, we'll be right in the mid-60s by 9 a.m., 73 at 11, and then near 81 by 3 o'clock this afternoon. For the Tehachapi area, you're at 45 right now. Light wind out of the east-northeast at 3, and that's all we're going to be seeing today. It's just a light wind. Temperatures are going to be nice and comfortable up in the Tehachapi area, mid-60s, as you can see here by 9 a.m. and then rising into the lower 70s throughout the afternoon. More weather to come, but first we want to get a check of the morning commute. We'll send that over to Alex, see if there's any issues on the roadway.
Well, there's some good news about your morning commute because things are looking pretty good to start off your Tuesday morning. Here's a look at the 99 near 7th Standard. It's looking great on that side of town. Everything else around the county looking great to start off this morning. Just be mindful of some construction projects happening around the county as always. It's been kind of the same news story for several months now. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
Recapping our top stories this Tuesday morning, a sweeping crackdown at a San Diego State University after a fraternity event led to the death of a student. More than a dozen other fraternities have been suspended. San Diego State University student Dylan Hernandez died after attending a Phi Gamma Delta fraternity event Wednesday night. The university reacted swiftly, suspending 14 fraternities after a campus police investigation uncovered possible misconduct at the fraternity.
If you get around by Bird in Bakersfield, you'll have to find another ride. The startup electric scooter rental company will pause operations here in Bakersfield. Bird scooters arrived in December 2018, and people rent them and leave them behind at different spots throughout the city. It's unclear why Bird is pausing its operations here, but in an email sent to contractors who collect and charge the scooters, said the company will reach out when they resume operations.
The widow of a passenger that died in the dive boat fire is now suing the owner of the Conception. Back in September, the Conception caught on fire off the coast of Santa Barbara. The fire killed 34 people. It was ruled that the boat did not have adequate fire alarms and emergency exits. Now the widow of one of the passengers on board is suing the owner of the boat, saying it was unsafe.
With just one day to go before public impeachment hearings begin, we're learning there was concern inside the Pentagon about whether President Trump could legally withhold aid from Ukraine.
Tracy Potts has the latest from Washington.
Maddie and Alex, good morning. Good morning, everyone. On the eve of this much anticipated public testimony, we've had a look at the transcript of the only Pentagon official to testify so far, and President Trump says he'll reveal details of another phone call, a second phone call with Ukraine's leader. President Trump is promising to release a transcript today of his first phone call with Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. I'm sure you will find it tantalizing, he tweets. His actions with Ukraine are the focus of tomorrow's public hearing.
The three strongest experts on Ukraine in the entire U.S. government, they're going to tell this story of the extortion by the Trump administration.
Republicans question the motives of the 3 career diplomats set to testify this week.
You'll see the individuals testifying this coming week fit into the category of people who had a substantive policy disagreement with the administration.
The Pentagon was concerned. According to a transcript of testimony from Laura Cooper, the only defense official to testify so far, officials there questioned whether President Trump was authorized to withhold nearly $400 million in aid while Ukraine investigated a political rival. There were concerns about whether it was legal and whether Congress should be notified. How will Democrats simplify all this for the public?
It's probably best not to use Latin words to explain it.
The strategy? Drop the term quid pro quo and let the witnesses tell the story. But Republicans are concerned they won't hear the testimony they asked for from Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, or the whistleblower. In Washington, Tracy Potts, 17 News.
5:33 now. The Supreme Court is set to hear oral arguments about the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program. The case in question challenges how the Trump White House brought an end to DACA. Throughout his presidential campaign, then candidate Donald Trump made immigration his main issue. He repeatedly vowed to end DACA, saying the executive action that brought DACA to life is an overreach of authority. Months after taking office, President Trump called for the ending of protections for roughly 700,000 undocumented immigrants. Many, including immigration advocates and business leaders, blasted that move, and it led to numerous legal challenges that later ended before the Supreme Court. In 2017, Democratic officials attempted to make a deal with President Trump to keep the protections in place, but the plan fell apart. This morning, President Trump tweeting, quote, "Many of the people in DACA, no longer very young, are far from angels. Some are very tough, hardened criminals." President Obama said he had no legal right to sign order, but would anyway. If Supreme Court remedies with overturn, a deal will be made with Dems for them to stay.
The widow of late Congressman Elijah Cummings is planning to run for her husband's seat in Congress. Cummings represented Maryland's 7th District and died in mid-October at the age of 68. Maya Rockeymoore Cummings currently serves as the chairwoman of the Maryland Democratic Party. She told the Baltimore Sun she wants to carry her husband's legacy forward while also building a legacy of her own. Rockeymoore Cummings plans to focus on health care, education, and protecting Social Security programs. She says she will start campaigning after a 2 to 4 week recovery following a preventative double mastectomy scheduled for Friday. Her mother died of breast cancer in 2015, and her sister was diagnosed last year.
5:35 now. Former President Jimmy Carter is back in the hospital this morning. He's set to have brain surgery. Carter's at Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. The surgery will relieve pressure on his brain that built up after his recent falls.
The body of an infant was found on a golf course in San Francisco. It happened on Saturday at Lincoln Park Golf Course. A golfer made the discovery, and security video from the clubhouse is still being investigated. The death has been ruled suspicious.
A group of people shot at the Gilroy Garlic Festival are suing the festival. 5 people who were shot are filing the suit, claiming festival organizers could have prevented the shooting. Back in July, 3 people were killed at the festival. The suit also says there was not enough security, and had there been more, the shooter would not have been able to cut through the fence. An official announcement is expected to come out later today.
SpaceX launched scores of satellites as part of a plan to expand internet access. Its Falcon 9 rocket, lifting off from Cape Canaveral yesterday, was carrying 60 Starlink low Earth orbit satellites. The company's Starlink project will eventually offer a low latency broadband internet system worldwide, reaching communities with little or no connectivity, or those where internet access is too expensive or unreliable. That's according to SpaceX.
Well, coming up, local athletes in the spotlight.
3 local schools will represent Bakersfield in the SoCal Region High School Volleyball Playoffs. Tabitha has a preview coming up.
And another beautiful day around Kern County. We'll take a look at the forecast. That's also coming your way.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News with Maddie Jansen, Alex Fisher, and Kevin Charette with your Pinpoint Doppler forecast. This is 17 News at Sunrise.
It's a story about a boy who became a man who ended up doing the unthinkable. His story is a tangled web of trauma and abuse. His wicked background is examined on our new 6-episode true crime podcast. I'm Olivia LaVoice. This is the man with 1,000 faces.
Thursdays at 5 on 17 News. The Golden Empire's Most Wanted. New name and face. Profiled every Thursday on 17 News at 5.
There's no job that's too big. There's no job that we haven't seen. There's no job that's too difficult. Our trucks are fully loaded, so we can take care of that problem and get you on your way. I'm not an actor. I'm a real garage technician.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Get your waterproof flooring done before the holiday season begins at All American Carpet. Locally owned and 25 plus years in business. Why wait? We offer free estimates and 0% financing. All American Carpet. Call or visit them today.
Truck driving is one of the fastest growing occupations, and Kern County has a shortage of drivers. Are you ready for a career change? With flexible hours and sign-on bonuses, truck driving is your perfect opportunity to earn a good living and be home with your family. And Safeway can help you get there. At Safeway Truck Driving School, we offer low tuition rates, hands-on training, and job assistance upon graduation with the top trucking companies in Kern County. Call Safeway today. Classes are now forming.
Whether you're cozying up with a good book or enjoying an evening with your family, there's nothing like a warm, comforting glow of a new, energy-efficient gas insert. For 60 years, Greer's Banner Air has helped Kern County with their heating and cooling needs. Call Greer's Banner Air or stop by our showroom today to see how you can receive up to $2,500 in incentives on your new gas insert. A lifetime of happy memories is waiting with Greer's Banner Air.
17 at Sunrise is brought to you by Bill Wright Toyota. Come test drive the all-new 2019 Toyota Avalon.
I've spent 18 years at Bill Wright Toyota, and we're more than just a dealership, we're a lifestyle company. As a working mom, my lifestyle demands that I multitask, so time is really important to me. I also care about safety, quality, dependability, and reliability, and an amazing value for my money. That's what Bill Wright Toyota is all about. So whether you're out on the town, taking the kids to school, or just heading to work, Toyota makes sure you travel there in comfort and style. Life's too short to put it off too long. Bill Wright Toyota. Let's go places.
Back here at 5:39, it's going to feel a little more like November.
Well,
not that much,
okay,
though.
but here's the thing. What does it feel like in Tehachapi? Like when you go back home? Because it is, in the afternoon.
It's cold
warm
overnight,
here.
and it's cool, and I wear a jacket in the afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool here at night, at least in the mornings as well.
Yeah, and if there is some clouds out of Seattle, it's sunny today for the folks up there. I'm wearing my blue, daunting my blue today.
Oh, and why is that, Kev? Why is that?
Because my Seahawks beat the 49ers.
That's right.
All those 49er fans out there are hurting today.
Yeah, well, we'll have more on that game, by the way, coming up, because it is something that a lot of people are going to be talking about today.
And I'm not going to rub it in too much because I've had a lot of hurt moments with the Seahawks too, so don't worry. On the weather front for us, the sun will continue to shine and temperatures will be right near 80 again today before we see any type of a change around the area. Right now, we're holding on to 53 in Bakersfield. Cooler though out in Buttonwillow, 48, 45 in Wasco, and then for the mountains, Tehachapi at 45, 39 at Frazier Park, and Lake Isabella now at 50. Here's a look at the satellite and radar. We've got clear skies right now. Another day where we're going to see lots of sunshine, but if you look off to the west here, yeah, some clouds out in the Pacific, and that is headed our way by late tonight into tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's lacking moisture, so we're not going to get rain, but we will get some clouds. Temperatures this morning running into the 50s into the Bay Area, Fresno, and then we have lower 60s down to the south into LA and San Diego. So here's a look at our Futurecast model, and this is what we're going to be looking at right here. Put this into motion, and you can see the clouds push on in right around 5:30 tonight. I think we'll start to see some high clouds, and these clouds will hang around through, I think, early Friday before they kind of push out of the area. But what did you see that was missing? The rain. So we're only seeing the clouds. Any type of moisture is going to ride well to the north. The Pacific Northwest is going to see a little bit of rain, the extreme northern parts as we head into the weekend, but for us, still high and dry. Let's take a look at the national weather. We're tracking this front now pushing into the East Coast, into the Carolinas, and they're going to see some rain there today, but yesterday we were seeing some snow out of the Great Lakes region. I want to show you a picture. This is from my grandma's home, actually in Peoria, Illinois. And Marilyn loves the snow. She loves watching the weather as well. But this is what it looked like out her door yesterday, as parts of Illinois did pick up some of that snow. And here's the dividing line of this. The system is going to continue to push east. So we've got snow on one side and rain on the other. This will slide east, and then another system drops some cold Canadian air as we head into late Sunday and Monday with another round of rain and lake effect snow. And take a look at the temperatures. This is where we kind of show that. 31 in Bismarck today, Minneapolis at 19 on the high. Chicago's only going to reach 20 degrees this afternoon, 26 in St. Louis, and then you can see the cold and warm line here. Atlanta right on the cusp, 44 degrees, and then boom, we head into Miami. No surprise there. They're going to be in the lower to mid 80s this afternoon, but a lot of cold air in much of the nation. Here's a look at our forecast, and there's no cold air here. We've got 81 on the high for Bakersfield today, 79 in Delano, 80 in Taft and Buttonwillow, a light wind throughout the day for you. And then for the mountains, a light wind as well, sunny, 72 in Fraser Park. Stallion Springs at 73 today, and then 70s and 80s for the Kern River Valley. Kernville, 81, 79 out of Wofford Heights. And then for the desert, sunny, a south wind 5 to 10, 77 in Mojave with Ridgecrest at 79. Here's your extended forecast, and there's the cloud cover I was talking about for tomorrow, Thursday, lingering into Friday and then pushing out. The weekend is looking sunny, and we're also going to see a rebound by Sunday in the upper 70s. But Saturday is going to be a perfect day for everybody with those lower 70s. So if you haven't made plans outside, might be a good weekend to do it. Here's a look at the mountain forecast. Some clouds for you heading into tomorrow and Thursday. We start to clear out on Friday. Temperatures are going to be in the 60s for you. Lower 60s Friday, 65 on Saturday, and then near 70 again by Monday. And then for the Kern River Valley, also some clouds Wednesday, Thursday. Cooler weather pushing on Saturday, high of 75, and then near 80 by Sunday and Monday. So a little bit of a cool down. Friday, Saturday, going to be perfect around the area.
Yeah, right back up there, though.
And I think we're going to get an improvement in our air quality. So once this front kind of passes on through, I think it'll kind of mix up the atmosphere a little bit, and we'll be able to part ways with some of this bad air.
That'll be nice.
We've been in the moderate to unhealthy for sensitive groups for several days now,
you've
right?
been seeing it for at least a week. I mean, really, since that dust storm, it's looked
almost
like
2 weeks ago, week and a half, yeah.
Well, and this is something we usually talk about in the summertime. We get these strong ridges, high pressure, basically putting that lid over the valley, and that's what we've had in place lately is a strong ridge. So it doesn't allow any of those pollutants to really leave the valley. Yeah. So we need one of these little troughs to kind of push on through, push the ridge to the east, and allow that bad air to kind of escape the valley.
That'd be nice.
And I'm sure the rest of the country would love to see our temperatures.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially like Texas.
Yeah, Illinois.
Yeah, all right, thanks, Kev. All right, let's take a look at your morning commute one more time. Take you outside, show you how things are shaping up on the 99 near White Lane, and the cars are moving on that side of town. Everything else around the county looking great. We've had a great commute on this Tuesday morning. We'll have another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
All right, well, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now. The holiday season is just getting closer.
Yeah, it may not feel like it, though. But coming up, we'll hear more from the Women's Club about an upcoming breakfast that's still ahead.
Surround yourself with protection. The 2020 Nissan Altima with available Safety Shield 360 technologies. 6 systems that help look out for you. This is all-around protection. This is Nissan Intelligent Mobility. Get a low $199 per month lease or get 0% financing for 36 months on the 2020 Nissan Altima.
Ron, have you seen all those commercials by insurance companies trying to make the public feel good about them? Yeah, they want to make you feel like you can trust them and make you think they will pay your claim with no hassle. But wait until you have a claim against them. That's where we come in. We've been fighting insurance companies for over 40 years. And we have a 95% success rate. That's why we're the #1 injury law firm in Southern California. We'll fight for you.
Hablamos español.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire. You're watching 17 News at Sunrise.
In a single lifetime, a person experiences as many moments as there are stars in the sky. But to make a moment into a memory, you have to do something that will last forever. Give in the moment to live in the moment. For unmatched variety, from designer to custom crafted, there's only one place to go. Rogers Jewelry. Since 1937.
Get into the game of pro football with Pro Football Challenge at KGET.com. Go to KGET.com and pick the teams you think will win the weekly NFL matchups. You have a chance to win a Chukchansi Resort and Casino Getaway Package and a chance at being the $50,000 nationwide winner. Have fun competing with your friends and KGET's personalities. Go to KGET.com and sign up for the Pro Football Challenge today. Brought to you by KGET and Chukchansi. More winners, more often, only at Chukchansi.
Welcome back, 17 on set. Joining us this morning, Vino Cameron and Dolores Steiner with the Women's Club of Bakersfield. He'll tell us more about breakfast with Santa. It's almost that time. Can't believe it. Good morning, ladies. Thanks for coming in. It sneaks up on us every year.
Yes, it does.
So he's coming to town already. Couple weeks, right?
2 weeks, I believe, from maybe 3 weeks from this Saturday.
First Saturday in December.
First Saturday in December.
Mark your calendars now.
Yes, mark your calendar.
What can people expect?
When they come in, they'll see Mr. and Mrs. Santa up on the stage waiting for them, and we have so many eager kids that come through, and it's so neat to see their faces and how they just light up when they see Santa.
Absolutely. It is so sweet. A beautiful sun up there for Mr. and Mrs. Claus. And then you can have breakfast as well.
Yes. And a new addition this year in the corner, we're going to have a gingerbread type house with reading for the children.
Cute.
Yeah, so that should be interesting for them also.
A great kickoff to the holiday season. You can start there with breakfast and seeing Mr. and Mrs. Claus and off to do your shopping for the day. And of course, this all supports the operations over at the Women's Club. And you guys are able to do a lot of great things in our community through this.
Right. We do give $1,000 scholarships every year with all of our fundraisers combined. And we also give to charities here local, which we will be doing at our Christmas luncheon later in December. So, yes, we are fortunate to be able to do that for our community.
All right, and we just need people to know you need to get your tickets ahead of time, right?
Yes, please.
So they know how much breakfast to make. How do they do that?
They can call us at 444-5212. And tickets are $5 each.
All right, and you're going to get breakfast and a picture with Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Well, they can take all the pictures they'd like. Its photo op is open to them.
Oh, perfect.
So, yes.
Okay, so again, it is coming up December 7th. That is the first Saturday in December. And we'll post the information on how to get your tickets on our website, kget.com. But mark your calendars now. He's coming to town. Thank you, ladies, for coming in.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I can't believe we're already saying that. We'll be right back after this.
Thursdays at 5 on 17 News. The Golden Empire's Most Wanted. New name and face. Profiled every Thursday on 17 News at 5.
Current Schools Federal Credit Union is the local choice for your financial needs. But just because we're local doesn't mean you can't take us wherever your travels or life may be. Beyond traditional banking, Current Schools also offers the latest in mobile and digital banking, as well as access to over 30,000 ATMs nationwide. Simply download the Co-op ATM Locator app to find an ATM near you. And as we continue to grow, our focus on providing greater convenience to make your life easier and better will not change. Current Schools, serving our community for more than 80 years.
Meathead Movers, your local student-athlete movers, are here in Bakersfield. Our military-inspired professional training program ensures that our strong, clean-cut student-athletes jog when not carrying items. We hire champions who are compensated more when our customers' items are not damaged, giving you a worry-free moving experience. We 100% guarantee your satisfaction. So call our award-winning customer service today to schedule your free estimate.
Recommending Mickey to protect someone in a personal injury case is like recommending my very own uncle. He is who he says he is. Exactly what you see is what you get.
Call my office, the law offices of Mickey Fine, 661-333-3333.
We were headed to the park. She pushed the door, and there was a huge crash.
Spring brakes are the most common repair that we do. Trucks are fully loaded, so we can take care of that problem and get you on your way. And that's why we promise.
Precision Door Service, a name you can trust.
Join us for Law Enforcement of the Year Awards Dinner Thursday, November 21st.
With special guest Eric Estrada. Join us as we honor Kern County's law enforcement, dispatchers, and citizens who serve our community.
That's Thursday, November 21st.
Visit kclef.com or call this number to reserve your tickets for the Law Enforcement of the Year Award Dinner. We want to see you there.
Haley in Studio 1A, her first live interview since leaving office. Jenna and her sister Barbara on their special new project. Plus, Matt Damon and Christian Bale talk fast cars and friendship this morning on Today.
Welcome back to this 552 and in sports news. First round of the 2019 State Girls Volleyball Playoffs take the court tonight.
Yeah, Tabitha's joining us again with a look at the local teams vying for the state title. There's a few of them.
There's a few of them, yeah. 3 schools will represent Bakersfield and Kern County in the first round. So let's hear it for the Patriots, Eagles, and the Mustangs. Good luck to all of them tonight, obviously. But here's a look back at the games this weekend that set the stage for tonight. It was Liberty and Clovis West in a 5-set showdown Saturday for the Division I final, and in the end, it looks like we were having some patty cake right there. Liberty just couldn't rally, and Clovis West won the Valley title.
No matter what, you want to leave it on the court. Know that you did everything that you could to win, and it was a battle all night long, and we did that. That has been our goal. That's been one of our aspirations, like get to Valley. And then when we kind of got there, we were like, oh wait, we actually have to like make one of our goals winning Valley. So we want to go into state really confident and just blazing out, and I really want to go throughout state just flying through, so I hope we can do that. I'm really proud of the way we play and how our team's really done this way, because we had a lot of doubters this year and we really made our mark, and I'm happy about that.
And even though the Pats lost the title, they'll head into state playoffs as the 8 seed, set to play 9 seed Long Beach Poly tonight. In Division II, it was BCHS against Stockdale, a win-win matchup for Bakersfield volleyball fans when it came to another Valley title in the 6-6-1. But in the 5-set showdown, there could only be one winner, and the Eagles outlasted the Mustangs.
It is hard to lose a match like that, but we were also in the match, and a lot of other teams weren't here at this point.
So proud, especially from coming from last season to now. We've just worked so hard for it, so I can say I'm really proud of the team, how we showed up tonight. My freshman year, we came to Valley and we lost, and we've been working so hard for this, and we gave it our all, and we had such a good bond that helped us win, and it's still unreal. Like, I can't believe it. It's so crazy. I honestly haven't fully comprehended it. I mean, we have grown so close and seriously become a family, and working so hard together every single day is just amazing, and knowing that I have 2 more years and one this year is just insane, and I'm extremely excited for my next upcoming years.
It felt incredible. It was amazing, and one of the best matches I've ever played in so far.
It's a rare thing to get a Valley title, especially to beat a team like Stockdale. That is a huge win for the girls. That was our goal beginning of the year, and they all bought in and taking steps to try and make that a reality.
So both teams advanced to state playoffs tonight. And here's a look at your high school volleyball SoCal Regional first round playoffs schedule in Division I. Number 9 seed Long Beach Poly is at 8th ranked Liberty tonight, as I mentioned. In Division II, number 11 Ontario Christian at 6th seeded Bakersfield Christian, and number 10 Rancho Cucamonga heads to number 7 Stockdale. All games are scheduled to start at 6 tonight. And let me tell you, there's nothing more fun than high school volleyball playoffs. I mean, all of
so fast-paced, so much fun to watch.
Yeah, and the girls are out there cheering and having a great time, and it'll be great. So if you can head out there and support some of our local teams, I suggest you guys do it.
All right, cool. Thanks so much, Tab. Other sports news this morning, North High grad Kevin Harvick is racing for a title this weekend. He's in the Final Four for the final race after taking 5th in Phoenix Sunday, 2nd in the overall 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series standings behind Denny Hamlin, who won Sunday to claim the final playoff spot. Martin True Jr. and Kyle Busch round out the championship 4. It's all on the line this Sunday at Homestead Miami Speedway, and you can catch the Ford EcoBoost 400 right here on KGET TV 17 at noon.
Undefeated no more. Last night's football face-off was one for the ages. The San Francisco 49ers winning streak has come to an end. The team had not lost a game before last night, but that all changed after the 49ers faced off against their NFC West rivals, the Seattle Seahawks. With just 6 seconds left, the 49ers send the game into overtime with a field goal and from rookie Chase McLaughlin. And he had another chance to bring the team a win, but he ended up missing that goal. That field goal, I should say. That gave the Seahawks a chance to make the game-winning field goal as time ran out. And in the end, or touchdown, I should say, and in the end, it was all Seahawks, 27-24. And of course, Kevin Schroeder's over here just smiling. He is so excited about that win.
Well, the Golden State Warriors fell to the Utah Jazz last night. That gives the team its 9th loss of the season. The Jazz beat the Warriors 122-108. The game started well for the Golden State with D'Angelo Russell scoring 18 of his 33 points for the game. But the Warriors were still outscored in nearly every quarter. Draymond Green was back for the game last night after missing 4 games due to an injury. Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are still out. Golden State plays the Lakers tomorrow night at 7.
All right, coming up the 6 o'clock hour on Sunrise, a San Diego State University freshman has died.
What the university's saying about the connection to a fraternity event and what they're doing about it.
Crab in a Bag is serving up the best Cajun-style seafood. Bring the whole family and try some of our favorites like savory, tender jumbo shrimp, or crack open our delicious snow crab. Fresh, homemade seafood right at your fingertips. Try our huge hand-breaded catfish or tasty king crab. One taste of our signature Cajun sauce and you'll want more. See why people can't stop talking about Crab in a Bag. Get more of what you love.
Your home is where you live, where they play. Your home is where they are for the holidays. Now is the time to make your floors as beautiful as possible. Floor Layers Emporium invites you to come see our newest selection of carpet, tile, hardwood, and vinyl that's perfect for your holiday flooring projects. Visit our showroom and choose from all top quality brands that will stand the test of time, no matter what the seasons bring your way. Floor Layers Emporium, providing your family a foundation for the future.
Amazing grace. Singing has always been my passion. It lets me connect with people. Now, I work as a lawyer at Rodriguez & Associates, where I get to connect with people and help them in their time of need. Singing is my passion, but being a lawyer, that is my calling.
We're Rodriguez & Associates. When you need us, we're here for you.
How's it going? Next up.
This holiday season, make the most of your road home. Join BMW's Drive to End Hunger test drive event and receive a $1,000 credit.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Right now at 6, a child hit by a stray bullet in his own home in East Bakersfield late last night. We'll have his condition and the search for the shooter.
PG&E is paying customers affected by last month's blackouts, but it's not just homes and businesses getting money back. How the state could be reimbursed after the power shutoffs.
President Trump promising to release a transcript of his first phone call with the Ukrainian president. His actions with Ukraine are the focus of tomorrow's public hearing. We'll have the latest from Washington. This is Tuesday, November 12th, 2019. Good morning, 6 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher. It was a beautiful day for Veterans Day for all of you who had it off and maybe headed down to the parade, and more weather like that.
It was absolutely gorgeous, but will the warm temperatures continue? Let's turn things over to Kevin Charette, who's got a look at your forecast on this Tuesday.
They are going to continue today. Yesterday, our high was 78 degrees. That's been kind of the norm. It's not the norm for this time of year, but that's kind of where we've been sitting, and we should be right around 67 this time of year, so we definitely have been warmer. 50 degrees right now in Bakersfield with no winds to talk about. We have the clear skies, and you can see here with temperatures throughout the afternoon, we'll rise into the lower 80s, right around 81 by by 2. And then for Tehachapi, 45 degrees to start off your morning. Probably want to grab a light jacket. An east-southeast wind at 3 right now. And as we take a look at the temperatures, you can see by 10 a.m. 70 and then lower 70s throughout the afternoon. And then by 6 o'clock slipping back into the upper 50s. We're going to talk much more about some change headed our way in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to get a check of the morning commute and see if there's any problems on the roadways with Alex.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Taking you outside to the 99 at Airport Drive, and it's looking pretty clear on that side of town. Yeah, everything's been pretty good this morning. No major incidents to talk about. Well, another check coming up in about 15 minutes.
A fire broke out in northeast Bakersfield overnight, and it ended with a firefighter being taken to the hospital. Flames were spotted just before 8 in the garage of a vacant home on Goodman Street near North Kern Street. Crews knocked the flames down, but one firefighter was hurt. He apparently fell and either fractured his leg or ankle. Fire crews spoke to the home's owner, who said they've had problems with squatters in the past, and the home caught fire a couple of weeks ago.
A child sitting inside his home was struck by a bullet in an overnight shooting in East Bakersfield. It happened around 10 o'clock last night on Niles Street. That's near Williams Elementary School. Police say the gunfire came from outside, but a stray bullet hit a 9-year-old inside his home. Police say there may have been a fight in the area that led up to the shooting. The boy was not badly hurt, but was taken to the hospital.